All right. Merry Christmas. It's been a while. The reason why it's been a while is because I've been developing a little surprise for you. Hopefully you appreciate it. I don't know how many of you are, but I got to do this because this is fun. This is a modern role-playing campaign here. It is backed by the Micro RPG Basic system, which I went over in my last videos, and this is called Christmas Cop Nights. Christmas Cop Nights. You can see this is a PDF. It is by, well, I guess I'll have to get to it. I feel bad I don't have his name, but if I don't find it now, I'll put it in the description. I think it's by Noah, what's his name? The guy that did this, Patterson, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'll get to the name later. Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing, I put out a teaser. I took my same character sheet from last time, from Dirk, you know, because I can just, you know, I got all these different characters on here, and I made it simple on myself. And Christmas Cop Nights, it's a holiday cop campaign that takes place in the 80s, or is 80s inspired. Basically, you play different kinds of cops that are pretty much directly out of movies like Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, any kind of cop movie you can think of in the 80s that deals with, that's set during the Christmas time. And Christmas plays a part in this, for sure. I am playing the Lethal Weapon homemade adventure. Sorry it took me so long to get to that, but as you can see, Martin Riggs. I'll be playing Martin Riggs. I wrote the stats on this card. The only thing that's really changed on here is the strength is now brawn. The agility is now speed. Charisma is now wit. And intelligence is still intelligence. And then you have these other, I think these are secondary traits, is what they say. Defense, intuition, no, initiative, sorry, initiative, yeah. And holiday spirit, which comes into play. Also, I'll be playing Roger Murtaugh. And so it's going to be a buddy cop adventure. If you're not familiar with these characters, I recommend that you stop watching this and watch the movie Lethal Weapon. And it's set during Christmas time. Same with Lethal Weapon 2. Lethal Weapon 3. I don't think it's set during Christmas time. Lethal Weapon 4 as well. So they kind of got away from that trope a little bit. So at least I don't think so. I'll have to maybe go back and rewatch them. But for 1 and 2, sorry, I didn't mean to flick you off. 1 and 2, they're set during Christmas time, and it was kind of a trope of the Shane Black movies. Like, although Shane Black didn't write it, Die Hard was set during Christmas time. So as you can see, this is the table of contents here, and take a look here. Introduction, core concepts, cops, base statistics, secondary statistics, rank abilities, vice. So vices in here, things that your character is, bad things, things in their background that they're fighting, trying to get over. Items, holiday spirit. These things come into play, like a Christmas party to bring up the spirit to win out over your vice. So it has kind of Call of Cthulhu style aspect to it. Whereas in Call of Cthulhu, you can lose insanity, or lose your sanity. And that would be something like your vice. And then your holiday spirit would be like your sanity. Meter would be like going to see therapy, getting help. And so that's kind of what they're doing in this, which is neat. It's neat. Stat checks: combat, attacking, fleeing, dying, and redemption. Leveling up is very different in this game. After the adventure, you roll 1d6, and if you roll a 6, you level up. So yeah, that's pretty hardcore. Criminals and car chases and explosions, which is, they all have these tables and everything. I've adapted this PDF because it was very print heavy. It has a lot of pictures in it that are, hardcore on the printer. Kind of would use a lot of ink, so I really had to redo the whole PDF. And so I am going to assume that you know the character Martin Riggs, played by Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon, and Danny Glover, playing Roger Murtaugh. I gave him detective class. Pretty sure he's detective because I know the movies very, very well. I've watched them several. I think I've watched Lethal Weapon 2 probably about 50 times at least. So, and the first one, maybe even half that, maybe almost about 50. So, I know these characters very well, and so I probably want to go over this. I don't want to make this too long, kind of going over everything, but you can't avoid it. You have to I have to go over some kind of a summary of it. So this is a chapbook game, and chapbooks are synonymous with micro RPG. Chapbooks are just adventure books, are kind of self-contained books that you can play out of, but they're backed by the micro RPG system. It's a light pen and paper game where rules take up no more than 30 to 40 pages total. It is intended to be fast to learn and easy to play. So what is Christmas Cop Nights? It is a game, let's see, zoom in here a bit. It is a game of Yuletide police action and investigation set in the 1980s, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, or any other major city of your choosing. Wherever you are, it's Christmas time. The game is inspired by over-the-top 80s action flicks set during the holiday season. What do you need to play? This chapbook, a 6-sided die, pencils, paper, one friend to act as a game master. I'll be using the Oracle dice as a stand-in for Mythic, just to make things interesting. I might pull in the Mythic chart just to get some details, but I'm going to try to rely on this as much as possible. And yeah, so you can 1 to 5 friends act as cops. So core concepts: stat check, you roll d6 and add 1 of your base statistics. Now this is what's different from the other videos I've done before. This has difficult level, the DL, whereas before it was DM. I think it was difficulty a modifier, I believe. It's how hard a stat check is. You must meet or exceed the number. So this is different as opposed to last time. Last time you had to get the number or below. This you have to get the number or above. So they switch it. This is kind of like a 5e D&D thing. So meet or exceed the target number. Whereas the micro RPG basic is more of like an old school 2nd edition D&D where you have to roll under the number. But no, as I was in 2nd edition, you still had to have a target number you had to beat. But I would say you had to roll under your saving throws. I believe. Yeah, there's some times he had to roll under. All right. Anyway, no XP. There are no experience points at the end of the session. Players roll d6 to see they level up. I talked about that. And Game Master, players, self-explanatory. Cops. In the game, each player, not including the GM, will create and take on the role of cop. The cop has a list of traits and skills represented by numbers to help determine how well they would do by facing any given situation. So you have base statistics, brawn, speed, wits, I went over that. Secondary statistics, health, defense, initiative, and holiday spirit. Rank, skill, officer, SWAT, detective, technician. So these are the four that you can, or the four ranks. Officer, SWAT, detective, technician, and vice. A piece of character background, abilities based on rank. So officer, SWAT, SWAT. Boy, I don't know. The wine got to me tonight with the talking. Detective, technician. Create a cop. Determine your base statistics. Choose a rank and a corresponding skill. Determine your secondary statistics. Choose a rank ability. Choose a vice. Purchased item. So, each cop player will have 4 base statistics to determine. These statistics: roll the d6 6 times and record all the results. Drop the lowest and highest results, and then write in the remaining 4 as you wish. So, let's see here. Martin Riggs. Roll 6 times. 2. 2. Oh, that's not good. 1. Youch. 1. Oh, come on now. 5. There we go. 4. That's a little bit better. Not much. Okay, so drop the lowest and the highest. Oof. And write in the remaining 4 as you wish. So I got to drop a 1. And drop a 5. Whew. 2, 2, 1, 4. It's not too good there, but so let's see. I got brawn, speed, wit, intelligence. Boy, this is not going to be a good Riggs. I can tell you that. But that is what I rolled here. So let's see how it goes. Defense. No. Brawn. So this is the base statistic. Your brawn, physical ability, and pure strength used for hand-to-hand combat, melee weaponry, and other strength-related checks. Speed, physical ability, and movement and dexterity used for sneaking, running, using ranged weaponry, along with other dexterity-related checks. Well, wit, intelligence, you can kind of put those together. Riggs would have definitely have a higher stats in this area. So 4, I'd say he's best at the hand-to-hand combat. So I'll give him a 4. His speed is probably his second best, because in the movies he runs after people all the time. He's got a decent dexterity. He can use ranged weaponry pretty well, and so that I'll have to give him just a 2, which is pretty pathetic. And then his wit and his intelligence is a 1. I'll just hand that off as well. He's a bit crazy. But wit, your social grace and appearance, okay. Used for persuading, intimidating, interrogating suspects, talking your way out of sticky situations. See, I think Riggs would be kind of intimidating sometimes, interrogating suspects because he's nuts, he goes crazy. And being smart on the streets. And I think he's street smart as well, along with other social based checks. So this is not very realistic as far as stats. However, that's what I rolled, so I'm going to go with it. Your mental ability, used for solving puzzles, crime scenes, reading text, learning survival skills. Again, Riggs is part of the special service, not special spirit, but special forces. Sorry. So yeah, he definitely knows survival skills. So again, putting a 1 for his, he's a bit smarter than that. So again, okay. Each cop will also have 4 secondary statistics: health, defense, initiative, and holiday spirit. For the purposes of these statistics, your character begins at level 1. Each of these secondary stats is determined as follows. Health determines how much physical damage you can take before you are killed, in the sum of your base brawn plus level plus rank bonus, if any. Defense determine how well you will do when avoiding enemy attacks. It is the sum of your base speed level plus outerwear plus rank bonus. Initiative determines how fast you are in a fight. It is the sum of your base wit plus level plus rank bonus, if any. Holiday spirit determines how much of the holiday spirit you are feeling in the season of your heart. In your heart will potentially help in sneaky situations when you need it, when you need a boost. In sticky situations when you need a boost. It is the sum of your base intelligence plus level plus rank bonus, if any. So each cop will take on a specific rank. A role within the police force then grants them extra bonuses in gameplay, along with a skill to match that rank. Your skill can be anything you want, as long as you, blocking it, as long as you, your fellow players, and the game master approve of the choice. Skill is something your character developed while training to be a cop in the line of duty. A skill may be used in a game to give you a boost during a stat check. If you or the GM believe your skill might apply to the situation, you can decrease the DL by 1 before rolling. So remember, you want to hit the target number or above. So the DL going lower is a good thing in this. The ranks and a few suggested skills are as follows. Officer, you're a normal beat cop. I'm going to go straight to detective, since Roger straight up calls Riggs a detective, so I'm pretty sure that's what he is. So go right to detective. Police detectives have excellent people skills, or at least a knack for pumping suspects for information. Possible skills include intimidation, persuasion, etc. +1 health, +1 defense, +2 initiative, +2 holiday spirit. So +1 defense. So I'm going to write lightly, +1 defense. And then +2 initiative. And then holiday spirit, it's +2. Which doesn't really make sense since Briggs is having a hard time. I can't say the word because I don't want YouTube to get all crazy on me for saying a certain word that the algorithm might be deemed as, well, we got to flag this video. So I'll just say, since Riggs is struggling with a certain mood, I don't think his holiday spirit will be this. Since in this adventure, this takes place around the events after the first Lethal Weapon. So somewhere in 87, maybe 88, so before the second one comes out. So yeah. So there we go. I picked detective. There's also technician. There's also officer. These are all funny. They tell you there's certain like things from movies like Excessive Force. That's an actual movie starring Thomas Ian Griffith. When using blunt melee weapons, the attack DL is -1 step, and damage is at a +1. Yippee-ki-yay, like from Die Hard. You may make 2 melee attacks in a single main action. As a single main action with 2 separate small or medium melee weapons. So the actions and everything are very similar to D&D and Hero Quest, where you can do one main action and 1 secondary action. So yeah, I could go over these, but I won't. I don't want to make the video that long. Detective. And there's some more things. Holiday spirit, clothing, buying stuff, which I'll go over in the next video. I'll meet you back here. Thanks for watching.